Hey everyone, Carla here from Documenting the Journey. Today, I think I'm going to be sharing, well, I don't think, I know, because my stuff is in front of you, but I'm going to be sharing my goal setting system. So, as some of you may know, if you're new here, welcome. I'm stoked that you're here for this video. This is one of my favorite videos to film. However, it's also a really hard one for me to film because it's hard for me to be vulnerable, and it's also very hard for me to be really open with the things that I'm trying to work on personally, in addition to sharing kind of like my life. So be kind, just be kind with my journey here, and just understand that in future videos, if I choose not to share everything, then I'm trying to protect my boundaries, which is one of my goals in here. So I have two things in front of me because I've been in the MakseLife system since they first started. Their planner started, the company started first in 2019 for sale to start in 2020. So 2020, as everybody knows, was kind of a wonky year to try and set goals, but at the time I was using their flagship planner, their 7x9, and I liked it. I loved the actual system, but 7x9 just really isn't my favorite. So I've been kind of bouncing around. They came out with companion notebooks a while ago, and I've been playing in those for a while, but the majority of my majority of my goals last year was actually in my digital format. So this is the planner I was using. I was using the vertical in 2020, and this is just like the little thumbnail page, so you can kind of see like what I was trying to track. I was using the vertical to do like micro tracking basically of my goals on a daily level. I also tried to do some memory keeping in here, and this was a nice format because it was very forgiving. I could make changes, I could make mistakes, I could easily delete something and not have to worry about scratching things out. However, I think what I'm going to be doing is kind of a combination of digital and paper books for this year. So I've already gotten some annual goals outlined here. I'm going to show you the paper version because I just feel like that kind of shows through on video a little bit better. This is the A5 folio. This is in the color Luna. They also have it in another color, Storm, which is gorgeous because it's a really beautiful gray. But this is intended to hold 4 books plus a small notebook. And so I've got my daily reflections and gratitude, which I try to do in the evening. Not gonna lie, I have not touched either of these all December. This is my daily, this is the daily reflections and gratitude. I can't remember if I said intentions or reflections. So this is my daily reflections and gratitude. This is my daily intentions, which I do in the morning. Again, have not touched all of December. This is the very first notebook in the companion notebook series. This is the one that has all of the instructions. It's got your intentions page. I'll show you that as well. And then this is what the actual quarterly goal setting notebooks look like. So this system is really unique in the fact that it doesn't have any planner weekly or weekly planning pages. It does have a monthly blank undated page just so you can kind of track things if you want. You can also use this as a monthly planner if you chose to do that, and just have this as what you use to go outside of the home. So this is all just the goal setting system for 3 months. So let's go ahead and start with the beginning notebook. So this is the really thin notebook. So again, the folio is supposed to hold 5 full notebooks in addition to that really thin one. You can fit all 4 goal setting notebooks in here and this one, but your magnets won't work. This won't actually close. So if that didn't bother you, you could absolutely keep everything in here, but that's not really what it was intended for. So the bands might get a little bit worn. Okay, so this is the instruction booklet, and this is where you're going to have all of just kind of like the nitty-gritty on how to actually use the system, what steps you need to do in order to get started. This is your compass assessment. It's really, really, really small compared to the digital version. Again, this is an A5. It's pretty difficult to see, but let me go ahead and show you what it looks like in this. So your compass assessment is here. So it's basically a life wheel with 8 separate categories, and you rate yourself based off of a quiz. I chose, due to the size, not really to do that. If I need to, I can do that in my digital. But these are the assessment scoring questions. And then I will go ahead and show you the blank version. I've done this also a lot on my channel. So it goes through 8 questions and 8 different categories of life. And then you basically add all of your answers and divide it by 8 because there's 8 questions, and you find your score and then you chart it on your compass. So the purpose of the compass is not to make you feel bad or exceptionally amazing in one area. The latter is awesome as well, but it's really just to give you information. And so if you have like a 10 in health and wellness, but you have a 3 in fun and recreation, you know that you can kind of put health and wellness on a maintenance and then maybe focus a little bit on fun and recreation. The idea for this wheel is to actually have like a pretty even circle here in order to feel balanced. So you see how the wheel here is kind of jagged, which is fine, which is how a lot of people's looks. And so their physical environment is really low, but their personal is really high for the example. So the idea is to have a balanced wheel so you know that you have complete balance throughout your life. So it also gives you information on things that you can focus on versus things that you can just kind of not necessarily put on the back burner, but just kind of do maintenance goals in those areas. So I have done my compass assessment and I know where I stand. This is the intentions page. I am choosing to share it on my own terms, and so I'm just going to go ahead and do it. Last year, I did not make a word of the year. This year, I felt like it would work for me because I focused in so many other areas in 2022. I really wanted to just have that extra push to go above and beyond and to really get out of my comfort zone because I'm finally comfortable in this system after being in it for 2020, 2021, 2022, 3 full years. I'm finally comfortable in this system to be able to start really going out of my comfort zone. So my word of the year is transcend. And I have that down here by my word means to me to go above and beyond and to try my hardest to be the best me. I deserve to improve and be the best version of me so I can show up for others. So my big goals this year is actually going to be for a lot of other people. So I'll show you my goals here in just a second. I do have some pretty hefty personal goals. And basically my transcend is just going to be, I'm really comfortable with where I'm at, but I really need to push harder to get out of my comfort zone to try those things that I've wanted to try that I'm really scared to try because of failure. So that's what my word is for this year. So it goes through additional instructions and it tells you 3 different types of goals that you could use: annual goals, monthly goals, weekly reflection questions. And then this is a really great page because a lot of people have a question about what is the difference between personal goals and personal growth goals. And so it gives you examples of what to look for in each area on how to think about brainstorming goals in that area. Okay, so this is a mind map or really just kind of notes or anything type of bullet journal page. And these are my goals. So my personal goals for me have nothing to do with family and nothing to do with children. I have a 6 and an 8-year-old and my life has been like wrapped up tightly with them, which is great and I love it. But personal has always been really hard for me because I feel kind of like I've lost who I am more than anything. And I'm just such in this mode of service to try and help the kids, help the family and all of that, which is again, great, but I really need to try and focus on me again. So I've been really bad about getting haircuts. I maybe do it once a year. And it's not really just because I can't make the appointment. It's because I don't feel comfortable spending money on myself. And it's like $50 just for a haircut. So I have haircut at least twice this year. I didn't go crazy. I didn't do it every 12 weeks like you're supposed to. I just wanted to try twice. I am going to plan a solo trip. I've never been on a solo trip before. I am going to try and plan a trip to go see a friend, and that's going to just include me. It's not going to be the kids. It's not going to be the husband. It's just going to be me. I'm going to try something different this year, and I'm going to be blocking all of my goals into 12-week goals. So even though this is my annual goals page, I am going to be doing not even quarterly goals. I'm going to do actual 12 weeks to try and get goals done. I'm going to put deadlines on them, and I'm going to just try and see what I can get done in 12 weeks. So I'm reading this book called The 12-Week Year, and I can't remember the author name, but I'll go ahead and put it down below as well. They basically explain the brain kind of changing in knowing that you have 12 weeks to get something done versus a whole year. Because if you have a whole year to start, I don't even know of a good example. They had so many great examples in there, but like I'll just use one of my educational goals. Like one of my personal educational goals is to get back onto American Sign Language. This year, I want to practice twice a week. I want to redo level 1, which I've already done, and I want to complete level 2 this year. So I've broken that down to I need to practice twice a week. So if I keep this in my annual goals section and I don't put it on January and I don't put it on February and I don't put it on March and I keep putting it off, it's going to get to the point where it's September and I'm like, oh no, I haven't done any practice on my ASL. It's because in the back of my brain, I know I have 12 months to get it done. Because in reality, each one of these classes is really only, 8 to 16 weeks. And so if I change my thought process to I only have 12 weeks to work on something, I think for me, it's going to get to that point where I can use my word of the year for that transcend, and I can really push myself harder for the things that I really want to try and get done. Now, if I don't get it done in that 12 weeks, it's okay. It could be 12 weeks of planning. I have a lot of financial stuff that I want to get done, and it might take me 6 to 8 weeks just to plan something for a financial goal. But anyways, so I'm going to try the 12-week goal process. I am going to do my monthly reflections every single month. I'm going to do my compass assessment every single quarter. Fun and recreations, I'm going to read 50 books this year. I broke that down into 4 books per month, either 1 book per week or an audiobook 1 week and a physical book 1 week to knock it out earlier. And so I did break that down a little bit. I don't have a lot of other ideas here, but I can always add to this later. My low priority is my content, my social media stuff. Right now, I have a little bit over 1,000 subs on YouTube. I want to try and get to 2,000, and by doing that, I'm going to try and consistently post 2 videos per week. On my IG, I'm a little bit over 3,000 subs, and in order to get to 5,000, which would be my goal at the end of the year, I want to try and, again, be consistent with posting twice a week. So annual goals for learning, work and learning. So I have 2 categories. I have my personal education, and then I have my actual work. So work is get a computer for working, try and get 1 day off of the floor so I can utilize my computer and get all of my admin stuff done and ask for a raise. My personal education is American Sign Language, research ethnic authors and cultures, and a lot of financial education. I'm going to be challenging myself to learn 1 new topic per month. And this is going to be where this is going to be a lot of planning and a lot of just like background education for my 12-week goals. My family and relationships. I have a high priority over here. I need to create a will, which means I'm going to break this down even further. I need to get a consult with a lawyer. I need to possibly even get a second consult with an additional lawyer to compare what they say and what forms we need to protect our estate and to protect our children. I also need to budget all of that out, which will go into my financial. And so a lot of these goals might wrap around to multiple different areas of life. And so once I kind of get my plan here I'm going to write everything down and use it as kind of a checklist. So as far as the family stuff, we're going to stay home for spring break. My husband has a Scotland hiking trip that he's going to do. We are going to spend a couple of weeks in Montana for the summer. And then I'm going to sign my kids up for summer camps when we're not in Montana, and just kind of activities for them as well. I also have down here that the kids' annuals exams are in June. My kids' dentist appointments are in May and November. Oh, my appointments, just kidding. Okay, so I actually put some of my appointments in health and wellness instead of in personal, which is fine. I don't really have a preference of either way. So my health and wellness, I have a high priority to move my body, and I need to find a way that I enjoy to move my body. Because for the past year, I've been saying, I'm going to start running, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. And it's all things that I don't really think that I enjoy. So I had no motivation to actually do it. So things that I think I will enjoy is walking. I love walking. It'll help the kids. It'll help my dog. I can also choose to do a family leisure walk with my kids, or I could do like an exercise walk with my dog. And if I chose to run, that's fine. No pressure. I'm just putting down walking because I just want to get outside, enjoy nature, and just walk. It's one of my favorite things to do. I also wrote on there yoga. Again, yoga has been on my goals for the past couple of years. Pre-kids, I loved yoga. It was a really, really big thing for me. It helped me mentally, and it really helped me just feel good and comfortable in my body. And also weight training. I have in the past lifted weights quite a bit, and I love that feeling as well, to just gain strength and again to feel comfortable and confident in my body. So those are the 3 types of movements that I'm going to try this year. I also added in that I'm going to meal plan every week. I pretty consistently already do that. But I put in a new challenge, again, with my word transcend, I put in a new challenge that we were going to try 2 new meals per month. It could be 2 new completely meals, 2 meals that we've tried in the past that have been epic failures, or just kind of anything, just 2 new things I want to bring in each month. Here are my personal appointments, my dentist, my mammogram, and my physical with my labs. So mental health I have as a high priority, because I've been working really hard since I started in the MakseLife system on my mental health. So I have the JMB Living Journal. I'm going to write in that every single night. My intentions and reflections, I'm going to write in those every single day. And it could literally be with my intentions and reflections. So this is the book for the intentions and reflections. And I've been writing multiple sentences single time, but it could be something as simple as one word. How am I feeling today? I just woke up, tired. How do I want to feel? Confident. What do I need today to feel good? Strong coffee. Like, it could be something super duper simple, but I want to get in the habit of really getting, again, out of my comfort zone and thinking about the future day and visualizing what I want that day to become. So that's going to be my morning intentions, and my evening reflections and gratitude is going to be kind of in tandem with my JMB Living Journal. My JMB Living Journal is going to be more just kind of a journal about my day, whereas the daily reflections and gratitude is kind of breaking that day down and bringing it into more of heart work. How I felt today, what my energy level and mood was, 5 things I'm grateful for, something that brought me joy, what were today's wins, how did I grow today, today I'm proud of myself for, and what is something I can do tomorrow to make it a good day. So I'm going to start that soon. These are undated. I can start it when I want. Again, I've got it digitally as well. So I have 0 excuses, basically. So here's another one of my kind of out of my comfort zone. I actually took this idea from Sierra, who is the owner and founder of MakseLife. She is going to challenge herself to do words of affirmation to others, not necessarily writing them down for herself, but finding somebody to do some sort of words of affirmation for every single day, whether it's somebody within her home, a text to a friend, just words of affirmation to others. I'm going to do that 3 times a week, and then I'm going to write them to myself daily. So I'm not going to write them in here. I'm actually going to write them in my JMB Living Journal. And then I'm also going to be doing decorative memory planning. I'm going to do that every single week. It helps me with creativity. It helps me reflect on the week, and it helps me reflect on the day in order to reframe some of those, what I felt like was just kind of a bum day, into something that actually was really good. And so I'm going to do that every week. I'm going to do that in my Sterling Ink Common Planner. And then I'm going to try meditations monthly. The reason that I wrote that one down is because I'm also in ClubMakse through MakseLife, and Sierra is going to try and do monthly guided meditations. And so I'm going to try and do those as often as possible. I do not have ClubMakse written in here. I am going to try and be more consistent with showing up there. I do need to write in here like a separate thing for ClubMakse. I need to write in there to, even if I can't get to the live trainings, I need to watch the trainings. I need to print the workbook. The reason I haven't written it in here is because Sierra is actually changing the format a little bit. And so I want to wait to see what she comes out with as far as homework and workbook before I write any of that in there. Okay, so financial. There's a lot of stretches in here. So a stretch goal is to pay down $10,000 in debt between the house and the cars. Right now, what we are going to do, and this is like before taxes, and so this is in the first quarter, is we're going to pay off one credit card, and I'm going to start a 529 college fund for my son. I've already got one for my daughter, but we've really slacked on starting his. And so the first quarter is the quarter that I'm going to do that. This is going to be one of those 12-week goals. So this I'm going to have to break down into planning is to contact my bank, because that's who I have my daughters set up through. We also need to brainstorm how much money to put into it every single month. And so this is going to be a little bit of a planning, but this is going to get done in the first 12 weeks. I'm going to have a monthly budget update with my husband. I'm going to review and omit any unneeded subscriptions. This includes anything from like stationery planning subscriptions to video game subscriptions to Netflix, Disney Plus, like what, I don't know what other ones we really pay for. Oh, HBO Max we have right now because we watched a show, but do we really need it, or can we just save that money every month? So this is going to be doing the first 12 weeks as well. And then I also have something in here for my kids for finances. So we started in 2022 to do an allowance with them, and we gave them $6 a week if they completed all of their chores, $5 a week if they were about 75% done, and only $3 a week if they did a little bit but not everything. With our kids, we do force them to keep, well, we don't force them to keep half, but we show them the money. We tell them this is yours to keep in your wallet, and this part I'm putting in your bank. So they have their own savings accounts in their bank as well. But this year I want to increase it to $10 a week because they are getting older and they can do more challenging chores, not just like go clean up the toys in the living room. Like, we're going to wash the windows, we're going to do the laundry, we're going to get on our hands and knees and scrub the floor, like that kind of stuff. So they're going to be working harder. So I do want to compensate them accordingly. And honestly, for me, it's going to be easier to just throw $5 in their wallet and $5 into their savings account. Okay, holy cow, this is a lot of talking. My last one is physical environment. There are extra pages back here. No, I thought there was. Oh, fudge buckets. I might have to write it on this bullet journal page up here. But I'm going to write a list. I have a list every single year of my monthly appliance maintenance. I think I might actually have it in here. So this is my like functional planner. Okay, here it is. And so every single month I sanitize my washer, I sanitize my dishwasher, I descale my coffee pot. We don't have a Keurig anymore, and I don't really know what it's called, but I basically just do like vinegar flushes and scrub out the pot itself. I change my air filter actually every other month, and so it's not due again until February. I clean my oven, I do a food inventory, I upload photos, and I purge emails. And so I do want to keep that list in here with my goals. I thought that there was, maybe there's extra note pages in this one. Here it is. Okay, so there's extra note pages in this one, but I'm not going to put it in this one because this will end in the first 3 months and then I'll be in a new book. It's fine. I can easily just take that out of my rings and tip it in to here. But I'm going to keep up with that every single month. and I broke these down into quarters. I want to replace our flooring on our lower level. We're going to do that in Q2 because I know in Q1 we're going to have to do a lot of that planning. We're going to have to financially plan for it. We're going to have to find a company. We're going to have to find estimates. We're going to have to research the type of flooring that we want because we're getting rid of carpet. And so there's going to be a lot of planning in the first 12 weeks. And so I wrote that like we actually will do it in Q2. Our yard, we are going to get aerated, verticutted, and seeded in Q3 because we do that every fall. We're going to purge our garage in Q1 and in Q3. We're going to do window pricing. This is not anything that we are going to actually be doing in 2023, but we just want to kind of get comfortable with the companies that we have around us. I need to get my jewelry inspected in May and November, and a weekly chore list. This is, I think it was for my kids. I'll write down kids, because I don't really have a weekly chore list for myself. Oh, I do. It's not in my planner yet this year. Oh, fudge buckets, I forgot to transfer that. But I do have certain things that I do every single week, like dusting like just general dusting, vacuuming, hardwoods, wash my bedding, clean the bathrooms. So I actually do have a weekly chore list. And so I'm going to go ahead and write, make mine. And then I'll add that. Oh, that is not how you spell the word mine. And I'll add that in too. So I also have a digital physical environment. I am going to do monthly uploads to Costco for my photos because we do a photo book every year. Costco has amazing photo book quality. We did one already of some of our trips, and it's so much fun to do. I am going to review email subscriptions every quarter. So that basically means like, do I really need the email from Bed Bath & Beyond? I haven't shopped there in like 8 years. We'll just go ahead and unsubscribe to that one, that kind of stuff. So I'm going to do that every quarter. And then I'm going to back up my computer every quarter as well. So those are my goals. So I have them in here right now as annual. I think I'm going to take a couple of days to process this. I'm going to use the notes in the back of my Q1. Here I have, I don't know, maybe 10 note pages. And I'm going to go ahead and start breaking this down into my 12 weeks. So I'm going to look at all of my annual goals. I'm going to decide what I want to get done in the first 12 weeks. And then I'm going to transfer them to my first quarter notebook. And I'm going to break them down by my planning stages. And so, for example, my creating a will, my first week might be contact a lawyer. My second week might be make an appointment with 2 lawyers. My third week might be show up for the appointment. My fourth week might be consult with Preston on, their recommendations and research the pages or papers that they say that we need. I have already gone through this process and I have talked to one lawyer already. And just because of our lifestyle and because of the kids, and like the kids require a lot of paperwork. Also, wills are different, apparently, like a living will and a power of attorney. And like we just needed like 15 different forms. And so I want to contact somebody else and see what they think. And then I want to research those forms on my own as well, just to make sure that I know what I'm paying for. Not saying that we don't need them, because we probably do, but I just really want to know where my money is going. And then I just realized that my planner was slightly out of frame the whole time. Hopefully you guys saw everything. So I'm going to use all of those note pages in here. So I will do a follow-up video for my January goals and how I broke them down as well in order to get all of those things at least starting for my 12 week. And I'm also going to write in my January goals what the 12th week is, and I'm going to write it on my February goals, and I'm going to write it on my March goals because I need deadlines. I need deadlines to get things done. So that is my goal planning for this year, 2023. I feel really awkward right now. I just also did like a massive amount of talking, and I just really hope that it was it came out clear enough for you guys to understand. And as always, if you have any questions, please, please, please comment down below. Give me any ideas of, you know, feedback, anything like that. Just please be nice. Also understand that I'm being very vulnerable here. I have always shared my love of MakseLife, but I've never actually shared in this much detail my actual goals. And so please be kind. I am a gentle soul. But anyways, if you have any questions, definitely drop them down below. And then again, if you have any ideas, or even if you're in the MakseLife system, let me know what you are planning to do in the first quarter of 2023. I would love to be able to cheer you on and support you. And
she doesn't have us off the song.
So also if you're creating any goals, whether you're using the MakseLife system or something different, let me know what some of those are if you're comfortable down below. I'd love to be able to support you, cheer you on, and just make sure that we can all kind of be there for each other and support each other. I appreciate you for watching. And again, if you're new here, thank you for being present and following me along on my journey. I truly appreciate you. Have a good rest of your day.